Hi, it's Good Candy or Asha. And this is a story from the closet. Surprise! Asha isn't straight if it wasn't obvious by anything else on this channel. So here's my story about my first girlfriend. So for the story, I'm actually gonna call my ex Sunshine. That was my nickname for them. And well, let's get into how we met and what happened and like how we started dating. And this is probably going to be in multiple parts because I ramble nonstop, especially during story times. So Sunshine and I met 8th grade, circa 2019, I think. We were in 4 of the same classes. We were friends for about 3 years and we clicked almost instantly. So a couple months go by, and I'm head over heels for them because I I was deep in the closet. Did not like. I'm gonna be honest. I did not like gay people at the time. I was a little homophobic, and I will be honest with you. I was not a good person. Like, I will be the first to admit that I was not a good person then. But they, I got feelings. I got feelings hard. And I just want to preface this by saying I have nothing bad to say about them. They were a beautiful, wonderful soul. But then 2020 happens, March of 2020 hits, and well, we weren't being able to hang out too much because lockdown and all that. But we would FaceTime almost every day. During 2020, like way before we started acting like a couple or dating, I don't know how to English or articulate my words today, but they ended up dating one of my ex-friends who we'll call Brad because, oh my god, this boy looks like a fucking rad now. But that didn't last too long because he broke up with them for reasons that were unrelated. He had something about him having an outside source telling him to break up with Sunshine. But yeah, I ended up comforting them because, I was very attracted to them. I was very attracted to them. They were wonderful human beings. I ended up one day in June of 2020 when restrictions became less of what they were and we were allowed to go to drive-in movies. I was invited to a drive-in movie theater for Sunshine's birthday. And we ended up doing makeup like clowns because we both had TikTok at the time and there was that clown trend going around. I don't think we made any videos, and if we did, my account got deleted and I'm not gonna show their account out of respect for them because even though we are broken up, I still do respect them and I don't want anyone like coming for them, I guess, or like trying to figure out who they are because we broke up in 2021, so it's been 3 years, almost 3 years, 3 years in August. But we stayed up the entire night, up until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and we were talking and laughing and we were watching, I think it was not a Trolls movie, but it was I think the movie was called Onward. It was the one about the Blue Goblin family. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was a cute little movie that we stayed up watching until we both fell asleep at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So future Asha here. It was Onward. It was the movie Onward. I literally just looked it up while listening back to the voiceover to put music over it. Yeah, it was Onward. It was the movie about the people with the, I don't remember the plot of the movie, but the dad was like non-existent or invisible, and they were like Yeah, he was invisible. I'm looking at the poster right now. He was invisible for like half of the movie, and I don't remember a lot of it because we fell asleep watching it, so we didn't really see the ending, but it was the Blue Goblin movie, and yeah, it was Onward, and we did stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning watching Onward, and it was a time. It was definitely a time. Okay, back to the original voiceover. But it was a wonderful time. And then the party happened and things went good until we were both too exhausted and unable to stay awake. And then I ended up going home and crashing later that day. Like, it was great. The party was wonderful. There was such good food. The food was amazing. Filipinos, you guys make amazing food. And well, they had a 7 feet deep pool, I believe, and I've jumped off of that pool so many times. It's so fun. Like, there was a hot tub at the very top of the pool, and then it pretty much, like, you would be able to jump off of the little, like, brick ledge, and you would land straight into the pool, which was, like, it was either, like, I have to cough, hold on. It was either like 7 or 8 feet deep, and I tripped and fell into that pool so many times every time I came over. But I would jump off of the ledge where the hot tub was, and things were going good. There was like little chairs, and I was falling asleep in the chairs at the top by the hot tub. And there was also one instance where we were sitting in the hot tub with their dad, and I ended up accidentally calling their dad. Like, I don't have a bad relationship with my father. I just, like, mindlessly said it, and I don't know why I said it, and I was so embarrassed about it. But he took no issue. Their dad was a wonderful soul, too. Like, their mom was and then their dad and I had the same taste in music. Like, we both liked Korn and Slipknot and Nirvana and things like that. And then their mom liked Iron Maiden. I liked Iron Maiden, but, like, their mom was iffy and did not like me very much. After a couple weeks, not even a couple weeks, like a couple months, she did not like me very much, and that's okay. But in October 2020, that was where we began to hang out almost every single week, or like every other week. It was a lot. We hung out a lot starting then. And they had a girlfriend at the time who we'll call Vicky. It's close to her actual name, but doesn't give it away. She wasn't exactly the greatest for them, so it was short-lived. After they ended it, we began acting more like a couple. It was so much so that family members started to, like, their family members, my family members started to believe that we were actually a couple. We hadn't made it official or anything yet, but we acted like one. And one of my favorite memories I have of them is in October, I had gone to one of their softball practices, and on the way back, we screamed the lyrics to Another Life by Motionless in White in their dad's car. And I don't have the videos of that anymore, because they all got deleted, and I checked my drive. I cannot find them. But I'd rather live in the moment, and yeah, that was a thing that happened, and it was a thing, and I absolutely loved it. It was so fun. We had a shared love for them after this, because I started getting them into Motionless in White with, like, songs like Voices or Another Life or Eternally Yours and things like that. Like, the basic songs that almost every person knows if they do a simple Google search for Motionless in White. And a lot of our hangouts consisted of us spending time with one another and cuddling and watching Nightmare Before Christmas, and occasionally listening to Motionless in White while watching TikToks, because they had a little Alexa thing in their bedroom next to their bed, and they would go, Alexa, play Motionless in White. I'm so glad we don't have an Alexa in my house, because that probably would have went off. Yeah. So that was the thing that happened, and that's where we started to act more like a couple, and it was cute. It was so cute. We should have started dating then, because the things that happened after were not so good. Yeah. And on the topic of Nightmare Before Christmas, they actually bought me a teddy bear from the Nightmare Before Christmas movie, and I believe I still have it. Spoiler alert, I do. It is sitting right next to me. But our relationship, I guess you could call it, was kind of interesting. They and I had never made it official by this point, but we acted like so much like a couple. Like I said, that their parents, my parents, started believing that we were dating. I went over to their house multiple times for dinner. I was like basically the third child that they didn't have. Like, their grandparents lived with them, their parents lived with them, their aunt, I believe, lived with them too, and all of them treated me like I was part of the family. And I also helped them decorate their house for Halloween one year, and it was in 2020. We decorated their house for Halloween, and it was fun. Like, it was a little bonding experience, because we were covered in red paint that was supposed to be fake blood, and we were like putting our hands against the door to create, like, it was a fun time, and I miss it a little bit sometimes, but, you know, things happen, and, like, people change, and it's a thing. Our friendship kind of got separated a little bit, because both of us were doing some really bad things, and, like, I'm not gonna get into it, because it's not relevant, but, their mom also blamed me for them coming out as a lesbian. They came out way before, like, we had done anything. Like, they told me they came out and all that. But our moms blamed, like, each other, like, us as their kids were being blamed for what we were doing, so we were separated. Yeah. And we weren't allowed to hang out or communicate over text or FaceTime anymore. So that was a thing. And then that was until during choir of the second semester of freshman year, when we started doing hybrid in my state. We were in the same class again, and we were talking often. Like, it was so often. It was a lot. We were working on a project together, and they and I had made it official during the project as of May 2021. God, it was amazing to finally have him to myself. That was until they told me they were polyamorous and were with someone we'll call Riri. And I said I was okay with that when I wasn't. And we'll get into that, but I want to talk about, like, some of the good memories I have of them. Like, I don't want to get, like, too into detail, but they were my first time. I was 15, and it was the first day of June, so the first day of Pride Month. And it's gonna sound so awkward, but it was in a bathroom stall at our school. And, like, it was a thing. And this happened multiple times before we were in a relationship, but it wasn't, like, full out like it was that one time. And, like, I don't want to get into detail, but, like, they were amazing. Like, I loved them so much. And being over at their house, like, I need to also preface this by saying this is a little, like, off-topic story, because it's on topic for the story, but it's, like, off topic of, like, clear-cut story. But, well, their parents were really conservative and, like, crazy. Like, I'm talking, like, loco, like they were crazy, and they and I would spend a lot of time in their room, and their mom started. I'm sorry, it's raining outside, and I just heard that. Started to suspect something, even if we weren't official. So we were forced to keep the door open, but that never stopped us. And like, I will admit that I've been to Trump rallies with their family because I was conservative at the time, which is why I used to be homophobic. But obviously I'm not that anymore. Like, I don't like the government. I don't like the government. I don't like politics. I think it's stupid. So I don't really speak on it because it's not my thing. I don't like it. But those were an experience. I will say that it was weird. Like, they were weird. It was weird. We would drive around there's a Target and a Cold Stone where I live, and we would drive around there, and like, we would be being screamed at by people on the street, and like, people called me a lot of different things. Like, I guess it was not unwarranted. Like, I get it, but like, I don't hate people who are conservative. I don't hate people who support a certain president. I don't care. I don't like politics. I'm a person, I do things, but we went to a lot of Trump rallies. I think I went to maybe 3 or 4 before we got separated, and it was a time. It was weird. I didn't like it, but it was a thing. I always felt like I was gonna get a bottle thrown at me, which honestly probably deserved. But I also went to a Catholic church ceremony with them when things started to open back up and they were allowed to have church ceremonies outside. And let me tell you, Catholic church ceremonies, if you've ever been to one, they are so scary. Like, the priest is over here at like the podium or like whatever the hell it's called, and he's yelling about God, and it's like, it's really scary. But I'm not bashing Catholics or anything. I don't care. I don't care. But like, after the ceremony, we started engaging in like, it wasn't like full out, like girl on girl action is what I'm gonna call it. It wasn't full out, even though neither of us are girls anymore. It was girl on girl action after a Catholic church ceremony where we were being preached at by people who believe that the gays are going to hell. And it was fun. Like, they were always a really fun person, and I always enjoyed being around them. But unfortunately, things did not go well for us. But this is already getting really long for a story time, so I'm gonna cut it into multiple parts. I'm sorry, I'm leaving you on a cliffhanger. I'm doing it Emily Artful style when she talked about her ex-girlfriend. That's actually what inspired me to make the video. But yeah, this is Asha, or Coda Candy, and goodbye.